Hello and welcome to the Easy English Guide to Proper Pronunciation. Today we're looking at page 14 of the guide, where we have the sounds S and Sh and G. This is an important page because these two sounds are often mixed up. Students come with different sorts of differentiations between S and Sh, and they mix them up in words and their pronunciation is often not very clear. So it's an important sound in English, or both of them are, but I'm talking about the S sound. It's there at the end of many words. It's common. It's in many words. So you need to make sure they're making a very, very clear S sound, so that then later they can distinguish properly between S and Sh and any other sounds that are similar, like J and Z. So, which we get onto on the next page. So, starting with S. I must go down to the seas again, to the lonely sea and the sky, and all I ask is a tall ship and a star to steer her by. So lots of S in there, and a few consonant blends as well. I use that verse Sea Fever by John Masefield in many classes, and if any of my students are watching this, they're probably nodding, going, yeah, I know that, back to front. The next one is a little song. It goes like this. A sailor went to sea, to see what he could see. But all that he could see was the bottom of the deep blue sea. So getting a nice clear S sound. If any of your students are still making sh when they're making any of these sounds in these two verses, then you must pick them up on it, try and get them to bring the sound up to the incisors, s, yeah, and not be making it back in the mouth using the molars, sh, s, right up the front. Some students are a little bit challenged with that for dental reasons, so just go easy on them, but try and get them to make it in some manner. Okay, moving on to sh. So sometimes you can demonstrate this by this, yeah, sh. Whatever way works. The first verse here is she sells seashells. Very, very useful. You can use this every second day in class. Students don't seem to get bored of it, and it's good when they get to a point where they just think, I can do this one. But at the outset, it's often quite challenging. She sells seashells by the seashore. The shells she sells are seashells, I'm sure. Now, that's going to be too hard for most students right at the beginning, so break it down. Just give them, she sells seashells. Go around the circle perhaps. Get everyone to try and say, she sells seashells. Is it too hard? Break it down. She sells. Just go around with that. She sells. Write it on the board. Show them the SH and then the S and S in sells. Make sure they're hitting cells and not sell. Often the plural's left off, or the it's not a plural, but in plurals it's left off, and often in the third person singular it's left off. Sells, plays, works. It's sometimes or often left off, so you have to make sure it's pronounced and tell the student it has to be pronounced because the meaning is there in that last. The meaning is there as well. It's not enough just to get the initial sounds. You must get that ending sound. She sells seashells. Now, if that's too hard, pull it back even more. Go right back to sh, s. Just go around the circle with sh, s, and see if they can do it. If they can't do it, well, they really need to work on that. But generally speaking, you can work at that level. Sh, s. Once they can do that, move it up. Sh, s, s, sh. Which to me sounds Chinese, but my Chinese students just look at me funny when I say that. They think I'm crazy when I say that. So obviously it's not Chinese, but sh, s, sh. Then, once they can do that, move back up to she sells seashells. And do what you have to do. Use the blackboard or the whiteboard, write it out, show them where the sounds are, and get them there somehow. Once they've got the verse, make sure they're not dropping the. Make sure they're not going, she sells seashells by the. By the. Must be the. Seashore. Grand. The next one. A foolish young fisher named Fisher once fished for some fish in a fisher, till the fish with a grin pulled the fisherman in. Now they're fishing the fisher for Fisher. Bit of fun. And the last thing there on that page is a reference to the song "Where Are You Going To, My Pretty Maid?" And the thing we want to focus on in that song is the little phrase, "Sir, she said." Sir, she said. S, sh, s. Sir, she said. And it's repeated many, many times in the song. So I'll just try and sing some of it. I'm going a-milking, sir, she said. You can look it up on YouTube if you need the whole song. Sir, she said. So that's page 14 of the guide, the Easy English Guide to Proper Pronunciation, and it's the sounds s and sh. Very important page, very important distinction to be made there, very difficult for many students, and you'll find yourself going back to that page again and again and again for as long as you need to. The key verse is she sells seashells. You really have to focus on that one.